didn't know you was coming over.
Yeah, well, I texted you this morning.
Well, I didn't look.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Tractorman 44. Hey, you can tell I'm over here at my much older brother's house. He's getting ready to fire up this 8N Ford that he's done a total rebuild on. Putting a little bit of gas in a temporary gas tank right now. Haven't tried anything on it yet. Hadn't done anything except check the battery and make sure we got a full charge 6-volt battery. But he's done everything to the motor that you can imagine. He's got new main bearings, rod bearings, new pistons, rings, of course, new valves, and is still going to be operating off the 6-volt system if the 6-volt generator still puts out. It worked whenever it came apart on another tractor, I believe. So there's no reason why it shouldn't work now. Went ahead and bought a brand new distributor even, and so it should be ready to go. So we're going to find out here just very shortly.
Here, hold it.
Oh, here comes.
Well, it's a spewing out.
Air.
Air bubbles. It's
I see. He's putting a lot of gas in it, so must be optimistic. This is an old tractor he and I made a deal on. I gave him a couple of these old 8N Fords. We made a little trade, little horse trading back and forth, and he got the better of me. That's the way it always is. But, it is what it is. So, at any rate, we're going to go ahead and see what happens here.
okay. What we'll do is, I know that the piston is number one top dead center. Timing marks agree. They all agree. Okay, now much younger brother, turn the key on. We'll see if we got fire in here to the distributor.
Keys on.
Yep. See it sparking?
Yep. Dang man, you sure got some spark. Good.
Yep. Okay, well turn the key off till we get it put back together.
Man, that's got a hot spark too, man. That's great.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a
Well, it's
fancy.
a Ford, it's hot. And there it's heading to number one top dead center. We'll put this back together. That brand new clip's kind of tight.
That new distributor looks pretty good for coming off of Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. Brand new.
Dang. All right, let me back up.
Well, we checked. Transmission is in neutral. We checked the oil, make sure we got oil in the motor. Yep, it's full, right on the mark. Even got a new oil filter in there.
Well, you put a new oil pump to it, didn't you?
Yeah, new oil pump. Yep, even got it full of antifreeze.
Think I'll turn the gas on? Or?
Yeah, turn the gas on. I'll put the radiator cap on backwards, but that don't matter for the day. Okay, here's a choke over here.
Right.
It's choked now all the way out.
Fitting's leaking a little gas right there on the inlet of the carburetor.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, you better hit the button.
That thing is tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should I choke it?
Okay, let's wait a minute.
Boy, them new rods and new mains, everything is really kind of snug inside there.
I need a 7/16 wrench over there on the bucket.
Right. All right.
All new clamps and stuff for whenever I go to 12 volt and make new cables. See
Sure.
the clamps there?
Sure. I kind of stopped by unannounced today, so he wasn't quite ready. I didn't have the battery charger on the battery, so it's. We thought it was a fully hot battery, but it definitely needs to be warmed up a little bit. So he's got the battery charger on it right now. Had to turn the gas back off because it's actually leaking right there on the carburetor inlet. But these are all the little incidentals that come about whenever you do this kind of stuff.
Well, that's just temporary.
Yeah, I know it's
I
leaking.
think it's
Leaking to threads. See,
threads
I think it's leaking up to threads. No, it's leaking down around this.
around the hose.
Yeah, you got a hose
Take a pair
clamp.
of pliers down there. No, my big one, the start position ain't working right.
Right. I gotta turn the gas back on.
Yeah. No,
We just ain't got enough juice in the old battery.
no.
Now what we done, we went ahead and pulled my truck up to the door. We're going to use jumper cables at 12 volts. But to jump a 6 volt with a 12 volt, you still go positive to positive, negative to negative. Some people think that you have to change the polarity whenever you jump a negative ground, but you do not do that. You have to maintain the polarity correct. But you don't go across the battery, of course. You want to set your positive on the ground in this particular case, because this is 6 volt positive ground, and then you want to use the negative side of the 12 volt jumper to go directly to the actual starter motor itself. That's where we're at this particular point. She needs a choke to go.
Now with the tractor running, he's going to go ahead and test the generator output. He should be having 7, possibly 7 volts output on that 6 volt generator. What do you got?
6.77.
You got 6.7 volts output. What was the static voltage on the battery? Without it running, what was your battery?
6.35.
Okay, so we still had to verify this, but the battery static voltage was 6.35, and he's got 6.7 right now. So apparently the generator is generating. We have oil pressure. We're waiting for the temperature to come up, and then we're going to go take this thing for a spin. Well, we thought we'd idle it down, burn a little bit of the oil off of all the parts and pieces.
Well, we run long enough to get it up a temperature. We definitely have some output to the generator. I don't know for sure. I'm not really a 6 volt kind of guy, but had to verify that the output is high enough to actually do what we want it to do. But we went ahead and checked the temperatures with a digital thermometer all throughout the engine. Everything is within where it wants to be, essentially. There's still the fine tuning that's got to be done. We still got to go through the carburetor. He's not touched the carburetor, so it's not got any kind of a kit or rebuild to it. It's the way it was whenever we made the trade. So once he cleans the carburetor and puts it all back together, now that the motor's running, you'll be able to fine tune that. And also the distributor, haven't really accurately set it to the specific degree before top dead center right now. So the motor's laboring just a little bit, but that's okay. You never want to do so many things that gives you so many variables that you don't you don't have any idea where to start. At least now we have an idea of where to start. We know everything mechanically is functioning the way it should. We just have to tune it all in. And that's what the much older brother is going to be doing. Got anything you want to add?
Nope.
He said nope.
You got it covered quite well. Now I'm going to retorque the head.
Yeah, we got it warm enough and you can actually see the sealant
what we spray on the head gaskets is kind of warmed up a little bit, and it's kind of not bubbling, but it's kind of starting to come out the outside edge. So he's going to re-torque the head right now, and then he'll go ahead and fire it back up and do it again, and do a little bit of fiddling with the adjustments.
So at any rate, that's about all there is to this one here. That's the first time this motor's ever been turned over. He never even touched the flywheel once he got the engine put together with everything set in the correct position for the preliminary start. I think I told you everything they put new in there, and in case I forgot, he did put a new water pump as well as, like I said, all the main bearings and everything, of course, a complete gasket set. So everything is looking pretty good. There is a little bit of adjustment here and there, but I'm sure he's going to be able to take care of that no problem.
Grease front axle.
Oh yeah. Hey, I tell you what, I'm going to show you guys something real quick.
Well, you can tell we're looking right underneath the fan blade at the center of the front axle or the bolster. And if you guys that run Fords are well aware of, a lot of times these front bolsters are wore completely out where you have to bush them. So what he did, he took care of the problem with the front end and drilled and tapped and put a grease fitting right there in place. So that's not going to give an issue for as long as he's ever going to need the tractor. And one thing that he did kind of point out you have to be careful of, make sure the position of that Zerk fitting is correct to miss the fan blade. Because if he'd have been a half a hole forward, it would be coming in contact with the fan blade, and that would create you a bit of an issue. But that's one heck of an idea right there.
Hey, Ev, I don't know.
You told me you ought to grease that, put a fitting in there. You told me that.
Well, that's what I did with my Cub.
Yeah.
Now he's giving me credit for the idea of greasing that front bolster. He says that I told him to do that. I might have. I don't know. I said a lot of things and I don't remember what it is that I said. But at any rate, for what it's worth, that's the end of this one here. And he's tickled to death. And I'm even happier. And this is TractorMan 44 and the much older brother. And we're out of here, guys.